Hi, welcome to my channel, and in this video I'm going to be talking about just general advice for living life only being able to use one hand. And this is kind of a difficult video to make, so bear with me. But this is mostly me talking about my experiences here, and I'm just hoping that that'll help somebody. But you're welcome to interpret this in however you would like. But the main reason why I wanted to make this video is because I think a lot of people that have lifelong injuries to their arm or hand, like me, is at some point or another you get very self-conscious about yourself, because particularly when I was a little kid, I would get a lot of stares, just walking into the store, and people act like they see Bigfoot or something, just stand there and stare at you, and some people will ask, what happened and all that, and some people are a little more blunt and will say what's wrong with you, and that can really impact your self-esteem, hearing those types of questions and seeing those stares. And sometimes it just makes you want to just run somewhere and hide. And I remember when I was a little kid that I would get very depressed and would have that of wanting to hide, or walking through the store, and if I had a long sleeve shirt or a jacket or something, kind of just wanting to walk through the store like that so nobody sees it. And then there's some people that if you know them but you haven't known them for very long, sometimes they'll ask follow-up questions, and they might bombard you with questions or start a conversation about it every time they see you. And some people, I would say even most people, aren't trying to hurt your feelings. I'm not saying that if you've done that to someone that you're evil or anything. It's just keep in mind that some people might be self-conscious about those things. But something I do when I'm asked about it, which I'm not asked about it that much anymore, but I was asked all the time when I was a little kid, if I think I can get away with acting like I didn't hear it, I might do that. But then you might run into, they just ask you again, and they'll keep asking until you say something. So I just give a brief explanation, and most of the time it's over. A lot of people don't keep the conversation going or ask a bunch of follow-up questions. But I would say if you're in that case, just tell the person, I know that you're probably, don't mean anything by it, but I'm very self-conscious about it. And explain that to them. And I would say most people would understand that, and would try to hold back with their questions at that point. But I would say if someone doesn't, and they kind of see that, oh, they're attacking me, all I was doing was trying to get to know them or something like that, maybe you just shouldn't give your time to that person. That is, if you kind of calmly explain it. I'm not saying you gotta, just because they say can you feel your hand, you don't gotta slap them and start yelling at them or anything. But if you calmly say, I'm kind of self-conscious about that and everything, and they aren't understanding of that, maybe you don't have to give them your time. And the second thing I want to talk about is kind of viewing yourself, because I would think when I was a little kid especially, I would think my hand was ugly, and that was another reason why I wanted to hide it. It's like, who wants to see this ugly thing that I have? And I eventually thought to myself, I became more realistic, and I thought to myself, maybe it's not as ugly as I think it is. And I also would think, it also kind of makes me look unique, and that doesn't have to be bad. And I think that, like I said earlier, some people will, get depressed and, you know, question things about themselves at some point. But I also think that over time, if you get the right mindset, you can cope with it a lot better, because I don't get as self-conscious now. I'm not saying I never do, because I still do, especially if I think I'm in an environment where I will be asked about it, because, you know, it's frustrating still, and, you know, I might get a little tense of, you know, somebody's going to ask and I'll get, you know, really frustrated. But, you know, just over time realizing, you know, I'm just going to do my best to figure things out. You know, I'm not going to rely on other people to do what I need done for me. It's like I can only use one hand, but I will tie my shoes. Maybe my parents can't teach me, but I'll figure it out. You know, I'll do the best I can. I'm going to reach my potential. And, you know, I'm okay with how I look, and that's all that matters. You know, and that's really what the goal of this channel is, you know, reach your potential. And, you know, so, you know, reach your potential and, you know, just see the good side of you, and, you know, don't just let things like that get you defeated, because I think so many people can do so much more than they think they can. So that was kind of my advice. And so yeah, again, you know, take that how you will. But anyway, I hope you liked it, and if you have any suggestions for future videos, let me know.